The sad case still, is going on with M.A. Udoka and the Boston Celtics and how they have finagled this whole thing and made it a disaster. There was more information that had came out from the ridiculous information that they gave out to the general public. Because if the information that came out that we got in the new details, if that had came out, that would change the whole scope of what this is. If all of that is true, this would be an entirely different situation, and that press conference would make even less sense than it makes right now. Now, many people still don't know what transpired. They're a little confused, they're a little dizzy, or whatever you want to call it. But everyone's mind is confused as to how they're going to respond to the situation when the situation is staring them right in the face and they got to deal with it bluntly. But no one in the world knew what was going on except for the Celtic organization. They knew. The NBA didn't even know. Just them in house, and they could have cleaned all of this up, but they finagled this entire thing and dumped it in the laps of the general public. Now, what are the new developments for those that don't know? Well, first of all, M.A. Donka was having an affair on his wife, which he confirms and don't contest. Now, the fact that he don't contest it doesn't mean it was the right thing to do, doesn't mean that he's saying this was the right thing to do. It means that's what happened. And the situation that happened was that he had an affair with a co-worker, which was a staff member, is what they're calling it, and it violated team policy. Now, at this press conference, they asked would any other parties be punished, and they said no, which is another interesting red flag, because if that's the case, why in the world would this be the case? Why would he be the only one punished when she's a staff member and they both are member of the Celtics? So none of this was making sense when the Celtics brought it out. Now we come to find out that they had an independent law firm come in and investigate the case and the findings. And what we found out is that, yes, he was in a consensual relationship with a staff member. From what I told, she is Caucasian, and her husband happens to be somebody also within the organization. Now, that is the rumor, but that is the new information that I've heard. And that she broke off the relationship once the husband was closing in on what was going on. And that Udoka, the reason that their relationship started is because he sold her a bill of goods about how him and Nia Long's relationship wasn't what it was made out to be. She's they hardly ever see each other because he's training, he's coaching, he's on the road, and she's, doing television shows and acting, that they see each other a few weeks a year. Let me repeat, a few weeks a year now, because she's become more busy and he had become more busy. And they really only spend time for their child. This is why they've had problems before with getting married. And they was engaged for 5 years. So he played the role, allegedly. This is what he did to win over this lady who's having problems within her marriage to her husband. But allegedly, her husband is connected to the Boston Celtics. Just like that's how she's a staff member. Allegedly. And she broke it off. And allegedly, he did not want this broken off. And he went to lengths of stalking this woman and harassing her, allegedly, to get her to try to take him back and keep the relationship going. And this was the violation of the team policies. But they said consensual. It started consensually, but it didn't finish consensually. So my thing is, why didn't you just fire him in the first place? Why suspend him a year when you know you plan on firing him? Why don't you just fire him and get it over with? Why are you dragging this thing out? See, it don't make any sense at this point now. Now you've changed the game to be something else that it isn't. You see, this is what these people do. They show you one face and they bring another face. Now, they know damn well they have no intentions, and I mean none, of keeping Udoka on the Boston Celtics. That was already done before the press conference. Now, here's the kicker. They wanted to say, oh, this is not about Robert Sarver to cover this. The Celtics have known about this since July. They've had 2 months almost. After the investigation was done in July, they had all the findings, they had everything. Why did it take this long to reveal it now? That's what makes everybody say this is about Sarver. They didn't have covered up or any tracks of Sarver selling the team and have dumped this story right on everybody's front porch. And everybody's eating it up. There's more talk about this than Sarver. Brett Favre rip off the entire doggone NCAA. I mean, the welfare thing to get some volleyball court built. Took money from a town where people are dying. They don't even have water over there in Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi is one of the poorest states in the world, and they skip right over there to talk about this. This is where it's at. Well, I'm not going to put her name out there because I mean, it's not like her name mean anything, but from what I've been told, she's white and she's married to somebody in the organization. And that's why this is really a big thing. So he's a dummy. He's really dumb for blowing this, because why would you touch somebody that worked for the organization's wife, as part of the staff, if that's the case? I'm just like, this is dumb, because now he's going to find himself out the NBA for a minute. It ain't like he can go to another team now if this other evidence come up to be true. I'm also hearing that there were multiple women. Also, it was all consensual, but he was going around weeding and seeding. Even though I don't think the other one was a violation of the team policy, he still was going out just banging chicks. Like he was on a tear. He was on a run. So well, we don't want to drop names out there because we don't know it's for sure. That's who it is. But from the information I've been getting, it's been kind of pretty accurate. But they are saying it's a white girl. She's married to a guy who's, have some type of relationship with the organization. Like he has a role there also for the Boston Celtics. But there's also another woman he was smashing. But it was the things he did after she didn't want the relationship to continue no more. He was very consistent in making sure that harassing that woman and sending her messages and all kind of craziness. Like, it went beyond the line of, like, damn, dude, you really want this woman that bad. She must have really had that good. He need that shot. Now, I'm quite sure about today, more and more this story is going to leak. It's more than one girl that he was allegedly with, but it's one girl that has this problem. Now, the other girls, that was probably some other affairs he had with the other ones, but the things that he did, that's crossing the line. That violated the team policies and everything else. And then, they making everything about, well, Malika Andrews is being real stupid. She's caught into this agenda of trying to defend the woman. And I'm like, look, here you go. No one's making this about men and women but her. She's doing that. She's the only one that's doing that too. It's like no one is saying anything about this is a man-woman case. She's still pushing that envelope. I mean, I was up there agreeing with Perk. I was agreeing with Big Perk. Can you believe that? I'm like, nah, you got me agreeing with Stephen A and Big Perk. Now I know something wrong. No, most people who engage with somebody for 5 years, they never get married. So they've already had problems. And my sources told me that's how he got the chick in the first place, is he was telling him because, she was doing a show and, when they met, he had the time, she had the time, it was a good relationship. But the more they got busy and the more he got into coaching, things changed. He went from being a player to a coach, and being a coach is a lot strenuous than a player. A lot more responsibilities. And, he's moving from city to city, town to town. And, sticking with one team, it's a commitment, and Nia Long was not about to get herself tied down, even though they have a child together. They got a son, which she put out a statement, she's going to address the situation that's going on in her life because it just exploded on her right in her face. So she had to deal with it, like front facial. Boom, right there, smacking her face. Everybody on social media like, I'm sorry, babe. He shouldn't have did you like that. You deserve better. So, every 10 seconds, she's got to deal with this. But now she's got a son that's got to hear about this. And this is what Udoka did, is he set black folks back another 10 years. When everybody's fighting about why black coaches getting fired and black coaches this, you just gave them the prime example on why they can say, see, look, they don't care about all these other coaches and all these other owners and stuff that have done these type of same things, atrocities. It was all good. But now, they frown on it. Meanwhile, these owners and general managers have been doing this throughout the NBA. This has always been a known thing. Everybody had a gumar in the NBA. The gumar is your girl you go out with. Your wife is the one that be at the home. You watch The Sopranos, So you don't bring your gumar out. Have your wife around the gumar. Um, I don't know. I heard that rumor too, but all I can tell you is that she's supposed to be married to somebody who is part of the Boston Celtics organization or in that field, which I believe is very dumb of him to even make that kind of move. You don't eat where you eat. He made a very dumb decision, and that allegedly she wanted to end it. He wanted it to keep going. And the way he pursued that is what made the Celtics say, okay, we got to do this now because you've crossed the line. So he accepted this, punishment by the Celtics. And the Celtics are like, man, we're in a hard place now. Now they're looking for a coach. That's something they never thought they were going to be in the runnings for. Like a coach? Us? We thought we were through with this. Now this is where we are? I'm telling you, it was looking like from the post game, it was looking like it was old Brad's wife. Brad Stevens is looking all depressed like it was his wife. Oh, they've always had their problems. Y'all, a lot of people y'all didn't see it because y'all don't see them all the time, but they've had their problems. But this happens when you have a relationship that everybody's far away from each other. Like he was telling this woman, allegedly, she's not around as much. She's busier. He's busier. They see each other a few weeks out of the year. He said, if you add the weeks up, it'd be less than 2 months that we see each other out of the year. Because of her work schedule and my work schedule. That's crazy. So they was engaged 5 years. That's why they always say after 5 years of engagements, most people don't get married. They end up breaking up, something happened, but they don't end up getting married. If you've been engaged for 5 years, then you plan on never marrying. No, they did an investigation back in June once they won the championship. The investigation started and it was concluded in July. They brought in an independent company, somebody, so it wouldn't be an in-house situation where he would be railroaded. They brought in an independent company to see, what the situation would be. And they found out that through the findings with emails, text messages, and just the interviewing the both of them, what he actually did. And it was so disturbing to them that they couldn't believe it came from, Ime Udoka. It was just a shock to the Celtics. So they didn't know, how to handle the situation in-house. They just, because this had nothing to do with the NBA, really. The NBA didn't know anything. This was an in-house situation. So it should have been dealt with in-house. You put this man on a press conference and everything with the investigation already really concluded, and you do a press conference to tell everybody nothing, but why tell us anything at all if you have no resolution as to what it is that you want to do when you knew and had this thing concluded in July? So you knew everything already. What are you knowing now? We're just not finding out. The people are prying for information because you put out some vague information. So it ain't like the public's fault. Like, hey, y'all dragging all these women in there. They don't. No, you made it like that. This is what Perk and Stephen A was saying. Y'all made it like this. All y'all had to do was say, hey, it's a person, it's closed off, this is it. But we know who it is, it's done, the investigation is done, it's complete. He's gone, he's terminated. Like, why y'all dragging it out? Saying he just suspended, like y'all finna bring him back. When y'all know it is not consensual. What just happened or what you suspended him for? It started out as consensual, then it got broken off and he wanted it to continue, and then he violated team policy. So the consensual part is already over with. You've confused the general public. Because now everybody's like, okay, well, if it's consensual, then what the hell are we doing here? Now it's not making any sense. Well, all I know is that he did some things that were, like aggressive. I don't know what they were, but there's text messages and emails and all of these things that they have. He was very determined to get her back. He did not want this relationship to end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he lost everything for the cookie. He gave it all up for the cookie. No, they got to pay him at least 50% of his contract. I think because of the union and everything, when they suspended him, um, I think even with conduct detrimental to the team, he's going to get paid at least 50% of his contract. Don't hold me to that because I don't know if they can come up with some other stuff where he could be charged for, which might happen. No, he can still face a criminal charge if the person, once he's off the Celtics and that situation is resolved and they want to say, okay, this is what's happening. Is it something criminal? Who knows? Somebody might go file charges after this whole thing is sorted out and everything, or what have you. We don't know the extent. Because it went from something being consensual. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. I know y'all just got here, and I appreciate everybody who's new who got here. Hit the like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I should have probably said that a little earlier. The problem is Udoka would have been back if this was just a regular situation where he just having an affair. But now it turns into something else when someone says no and you're not listening to the no. Now it could be turned and created into anything. Yeah, he could get fired. And once he gets fired, that could be it. He could be suspended indefinitely. And he said he agreed with the suspension of a year. So now that destroyed his entire credibility. He's really ruined himself because no one's gonna trust him again. I mean, it's gonna take a while for people to like really trust him, especially if you would sleep with somebody in an organization, they wife. If that's the case, then dude, that means that ain't nobody gonna trust you. The owner ain't gonna trust you. Nobody gonna trust you. If when all of this is resolved, if that person feels like they want to press charges against him, they'll be allowed to do that, especially if she's white. You know that. If she's white, you can forget about it. And from what I heard, she's white. So then I heard there's another girl, like it was another chick he was smashing. Like, like it's more than one person in this situation. From I was told that too. That was the other information I got. There's another chick he was smashing. It wasn't just this one girl. So I don't know. I don't understand if he's smashing two. Why don't you just go back to the other girl? Why is he so hooked on this chick? Somebody said something's wrong with these these girls coochie, man. Sanaa Lathan, Nia Long, these girls too fine. They can't keep no man. Something wrong with the cuckoo. No, I've just been tired, B. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, but I'm gonna rectify that today. I'm gonna watch some of these college football games, and I'm gone, boy. And I'm gone away, and I'm gone. I don't know. That wasn't the case. Now, if he'd have done that, I think he's already gone. But no, I don't think he did anything like took it. They were allegedly having an affair. She called it off, and he didn't want it to end. Now, that's one side of the story, like coming from that side. I'm quite sure Udoka got a whole nother story that's different from that one. Well, he said some message. He sent some messages. He did some things that he shouldn't have, and made them feel really uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. He was very persistent in trying to get that relationship back together. Him not wanting it to end is a crime, no, but when you take acts, that could be a crime. Depends on what he did in the acts to try to make that happen. If she didn't feel safe, if she felt like he was pushing and aggressive, all of these things, right, are detrimental, especially in this new woke culture. Everybody just overreacts. Now you got like 75 videos of, one thing and probably more. Like right now, everybody is like whooping on DJ Academics. Like every day it's a whole new rapper. Then it's like, who is this dude? I don't even know him. In academics. I'm like, okay, does he even rap? Who is he? I don't even know him down the tree. Hmm. Absolutely. Because people don't realize the Boston Celtics were on their way. They were on their way, and Udoka was on his way. He made it. He didn't have to worry about nothing. He was on his way. the Boston Celtics was his ticket. They were the hottest ticket in town, and the team was all talking about going back to the NBA Finals. They got promised. They felt they were just like 1 or 2 games away from the NBA Finals, and he just dropped the ball. And from that point on, he's in trouble. He's literally in trouble. Now, I'm gonna go watch Kwame, see what he had to say about it. Cause I know he got something coming. Don't forget to hit this like button. That's right, like it up. Like it up, like it up, like it up. No, many people didn't see it the way I saw it. I saw this as a bad situation. Yes. Yeah, so this is a bad situation for him. It's bad for Boston. And it's crazy. I have to go find the live stream I did, but I know I talked about the Boston Celtics coach was having an affair. And they was asking me questions, and I'm like, I don't have no information for you. And that was crazy because that was a premonition from years ago, like a deja vu. I just had one. Like, man, that's crazy. That was years ago. And I remember telling the same person I'm on the phone with, talking to, and it's like unbelievable. Same thing happening. Yep, that's how it go down. Well, if they can find out the information, that's cool. But I heard it was more than one girl. Like he was on a spree. Yeah, 5-year engagements don't normally work out, buddy. 5-year engagements tell you there's something wrong with the marriage. And here it seemed the thing that was wrong with the marriage is time. They didn't have a lot of time around each other. She got busy after the kid went back to work, and they love it at work, so she's got to get a nanny or a sitter, and sometimes it's him, and it's just a headache. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna go ahead and probably hit the sack early, and then wake up for the games and go back to sleep. So on this note, I'm gonna get out. But all the information is in the video. If you didn't see it, you got here late, just go back and watch it so you can get caught up on all the information. So, anyhow, good luck at the games. Udoka's in trouble. Some of y'all might want some picks. Western Kentucky in the points. Take Michigan on the money line. Ohio State over Wisconsin. Take them with the 19 over. Should be about 19 points. You can bet that. Take that. She'll win on a parlay with those. Those will be a nice parlay for you. As far as NFL, take the Broncos. Take the Baltimore Ravens by 3. And that's it. You should be able to at least do 5 picks and be ready to go. So we'll see what happens. So I'm out. I don't want to fall asleep on y'all. Thank y'all for your time. Hopefully y'all hit the like button and subscribe. We'll get down later after I get some sleep. I'll be more useful.